Happy Thumbs Gaming. Big show.
Hey everybody, it's Brian with Happy Thumbs Gaming. Today we're checking out Episode 3, Gungathal Valley, where we find all 30 bottles in Sly Cooper Thieves in Time. Aw, to the yeah. So this is kind of like Bedrock meets Ice Age, so to speak, if you ask me anyways. With the character creation these guys did, they did a great job. I love their man myths that they have walking around. This is a great level. This is so far, although all the other levels have been great, so far this has been my favorite. So we'll go ahead and start out right out front here. We are going to work our way all the way around, starting in more or less the bottom left or the southwest corner of the overall map of Gungathal Valley. And then we're going to kind of work up and around and circle all the way around, kind of like a spiral type technique that will end us right at the safe. So feel free to follow along with us if you haven't found any bottles, or, you know, look around, watch the video, use the hot links down below to go to each bottle if you're wanting to skip through, or use the downloadable map that we have made available for you guys as well. Unfortunately, it's not as large as we would prefer it to be, but our screen captures are only so large, and that's what we got. So hopefully you guys can make use out of it as we grab bottle number 1, which is on an overhang back there. Yeah, let us know what you think about that map, if it's helpful, if you guys have even used it. And we'll just go ahead and take a quick peek at the map over here. And you can see we're in the southwest corner. Boom! Yeah, see, that's kind of stuff I'm talking about, bedrock accents, all these like alive, you know, triceratopses and such that will interact with you and toss you around. All right, so look at that. We already got 3 in the hole. Woo! All right, and then we'll go ahead and drop down here on the left-hand side and go under everything. You'll see some little toxic barrels kind of floating and some icy sludge. And we'll go ahead and grab that. We do die, but as you can see, it resets us right up top. So what does it matter? And we'll move on right to the next bottle. There we go. I can say it right. Which is basically right on top of it. If you look at the map, they're side by side as where we just were. And this one will be 5, but this one's at the top of the statue. So we'll take a quick peep at the map to see where the heck we going. And get ready, get your parachute out, and get ready to fly. Whee! Alright, and this one's kind of tucked away inside what appears to be some sort of a carcass. And we'll grab that as Rumpo comes in. What up, Rumpo? It's one of our buddies over at Battle Chatter Online. If you don't know about them, check them out as well. They got some pretty good videos going up, and they're some good friends of ours, so check them out. We'll go ahead and jump back and forth from ribcage to ribcage and grab number 7, and then we'll head over to the left, which is kind of in the water, and heading up towards the northwestern side of the map. You can see this guy floating around. You can see we're starting to make our way up to the toppy. Hopefully you can kind of see the path that we're taking so far and how it's going to all work out. I'm not even sure if you guys know where the safe is, but don't worry, we'll take you right there. Tuck in to grab that one, which is kind of an easy one, but you never know, depending on your paths. It's kind of tucked away and hidden. We'll go right up on above it and do some tight pants Joey tightrope walking here. I'm making tight pants famous, and he doesn't even know it probably. Regardless, we'll go ahead and go to this air geyser here and let it lift up. You can probably jump from the back sides where we first showed you from, but we found it a lot easier to go ahead and use the geyser. And then just keep on heading along this pathway to the north, which will take us right to this little bridge here. And at the top of the left side of the bridge, you'll see a bottle bouncing. And we had some advice given to us, which totally made sense, and by one of our viewers. Go ahead and turn the music and the movie volume down and turn the sound effects up, and that'll help you find the locations. Even if you're using our guides, maps, or talking, whatever you're using, it always helps to hear that clink, clunk, clink, clink, clunk, clunk, or whatever it is. And I get lucky here, and I jump into the water, and I die, and then it respawns me up top, which was nice. So I'm able to just kind of keep on keeping on, because we did need to come back up top for the next bottle. And we'll keep on climbing up here. And now there is one right in front of us. We're going to come back and get that guy in just a second. We do kind of some double back in here, and wasn't any real specific reason. It just kind of felt natural to get him in this order. And so We'll go ahead and grab that one in the little crow's nest up there, and you can see we're actually looking at one right now that you can use that geyser to go ahead and float through and grab, but there's also one right behind us here in this skull. So that's kind of why, we could have grabbed this one first, then grabbed that one, and then floated off, but we also grabbed another one right here in the area, so we waited to float off until it was time to float off. So 14 in the bag, almost to the halfway point. Making our way to that halfway point. We'll take a quick peek at the map. Heading along this northern ridge, just kind of following the natural flow of the board here, or the map. We will suck around. This one was actually the last one when I was doing my surveillance run. This was the last one I found, and I actually have to give 100% credit to my son. I spent a good 40 minutes looking around for it. Could not find it. He spent 20, 30 minutes looking around, and my little 8-year-old son found that one. So I was pretty happy when he found it, and we went ahead and wanted to make sure that I gave him some, some props for finding that there. So now we're going to go ahead and float off. This one was kind of tricky. I did some editing here. It took me 3 or 4 attempts to get it before I finally got it right. But, yeah. And then the other one's right up above us here. This one was tricky, and we're going to show you a couple different angles. We tried it from various angles in our previous attempts, and it didn't really yield us great results. We had one spot at the end that we'll show you that we found was the best, but there are more or less 4 or 5 different angles you can come at. That one's a real tough one. You could use the geyser, maybe get momentum, but we come over onto this one side of the bridge where it's just kind of open. Use your little paraglider to jump down there and grab it, and look at that. We're already to number 17. Woot, woot. There we go. We'll jump back around, and now we're kind of making our way back down and around. And if you haven't guessed it yet, the safe is kind of in, I don't know, it's kind of below the hideout, really. Kind of where you start. We will have it marked for you here in a second. But it's also available on the downloadable map that I keep talking about, too. So it's definitely handy stuff. Go ahead, and now that we're moving on to 19, this one's a bit of a doozy. It's out here in the middle, which you could easily miss and fall down below, which I'm trying to climb all the way back up. So we'll go ahead and grab this guy right here, and then we'll use this vine right in front of us to go ahead and climb up and grab the next one at the top. All right, here we go. 20 in the bag, 2/3 of the way there. Now we're going to float all the way across and go down by this other giant catapulting brontosaurus-like creature. And luckily I didn't land in it because he would have launched me, which, wouldn't have been the end of the world, but I prefer to do my own air traffic controlling there as I go into the water. Alright, so jump up, get up on this vine up here, and you'll see another one with the husks, or the tusks, I guess. Husks. This ain't corn. Speaking of corn, never mind, I won't go there. We'll go ahead and leave that for another video for another day. Now we're kind of making our way back towards the start, kind of where we originally started this video, even though we avoided the first couple right by the hideout. As you can see, we're kind of down on the southeastern side now. And our bottle count is getting pretty high. Watch out for them squawking birds. Use this little mushy boingy to get up top. Ba-boing, ba-boing. Grab that, and that will put us at 24. Sweet. Okay. So this one, now we're actually back by the hideout. There it is right there. We'll use the bouncer to jump up top. And there you go. So that was probably one of the first ones you guys got. Maybe not. And then we're going to go jump on the spine of this giant dinosaur skeleton here. And that will yield us 26. And there's a Sly mask there. If you're collecting them in order, save it for later. If you're just trying to grab any of them, you might not see that one from down below. It's kind of one of the higher points of the map up there on that span above our hideout. We'll go ahead and check this one out here, crossing the log. Corn and logs. I said I'd save that for another conversation, but I had to. All right. And as we're trying to figure out which way is going to be the best way to get up there, we decide that we're going to go kind of the long way, but it ends up being really the only way. Once you get up to the top, you're going to go ahead and use your cane to slide all the way down and grab this next one. So this one's kind of a fast-paced one. Use the mushroom to get up there and grab onto it by pressing circle. I'm sure you know that by now. It's episode 3, but I figured I'd toss that in there. Slide on down and booyakashow. It's pretty fun. Whee! All right. Now the last couple here. We're going to go all the way back around right past the front door. We're going to travel over to the water again. And this one's kind of tucked away. We dropped in a little bit north. We could have gone a little bit further south, and it may have been a little easier. But nonetheless, we dropped down, and we used this bone sticking up here to jump from spot to spot. It'll take us right down to the base here. And boom! There she blows. All right, only one left. We're going to take you to that safe. Oh, ouch. Ouch, ouch. And it's right here in front of us. Use the little thorn bouncer there to go ahead and get up top. And boom, there you go. All 30, and we have unlocked the safe. Well, I guess we haven't unlocked it. We have the ability to unlock the safe. So we'll figure out where we are here, and we're going to run right down and back below, right kind of where we just came from, and tuck around. We'll show you here on the map where the safe is. And then it doesn't take rocket science to open this thing. So not much we can give advice on this for, other than move quick. And bleak-show, clockwork. And the savings account trophy is now ours as well. All right, well, hopefully you guys found that useful. Took us a little bit of time. That's why it's kind of taken so much time to get them up. But that'll wrap up Sly Cooper episode 3, where we show you all 30 bottles. Get on over to Facebook and Twitter if you haven't already to join the conversations we got cracking over there. Feel free to comment, vote, and subscribe down below as well. And, you know, as always, until next time. Doogie Fresh. So